Hi guys, Stay-Patient here. I'm just playing a bit of Assassin's Creed Unity and I thought I'd bring you some tips on the best gear to equip and what to buy, show you my loadout and just explain how some of the stats work in this game. Now, one thing that's quite useful is you can access all the available gear through your pause menu, or should I say through the options menu. The character customization tab here, if you go in here you can buy everything here, you don't have to go to any shops or anything. Now, one thing to take note of is that if you go to your gear loadout and to equipment, that's where all your armor is. Now you can obviously buy pieces of armor for every body part, but if you choose to equip another outfit, that doesn't affect the armor that you have equipped. So you can change your outfits. This doesn't sort of de-equip anything. You still have all your armor available. So if I equip one of these outfits, you can see it's gold. That's the one I've got equipped at the moment, but all of my armor is still intact. It's still gold here, so you still benefit from the stats that are increased by each individual piece. Another thing to take note of is if you take a look here at my gear loadout, you can see my melee bar is almost full. My health is about 2/3 full and stealth is a little over half. Now, when I first started buying gear, I figured that these bars on the armor that you equip, I assumed that they would correspond to the bars, for your character, for your overall character. So I thought maybe if I equip something with half a bar of health and then equip another piece of armor with half a bar of health, that will give me full health, and then the other bits of armor I can choose other stats on. But it doesn't work like that. Almost all my pieces of armor have at least half a bar of health and almost half a bar of stealth, but of course, as you can see, my overall bar is only 2/3 full. So you can equip as many pieces with health, stealth, melee, whatever you wish, and it's not gonna go over the total. Now, one way of getting legendary gear, because of course the gear is broken down into different bands. You start off with, let's have a look at our head here. If you go to the top, you start off with handmade. I think you actually start off with original hood, which is, as you can see, the star level at the top there is 1 star. Then you've got handmade is 2 stars. I believe tailored, yeah, is 3. Improved is 4. Master is 5, and then legendary is 5 again, but 5 gold stars or gold diamonds. So of course the idea is to get legendary in every slot, and that affects your overall character level, which again you can see on the screen here. My player level is 5 diamonds, and that's equal to your lowest equipped piece of armor or weapons. It's also affected by your skills as well. If you go to your skills, you can see they're split into exactly the same categories. You've got melee, ranged, stealth and health. So once you unlock all those skills, that will also contribute to your overall level. But we're looking primarily at our gear here. So I'm going to just take you through some of the equipment that I've got. Now, there is a way of getting some gear for free. The co-op missions reward you with pieces of equipment. In fact, while we're here in the pause menu, let's jump back out and I'll show you. If we go to the progress tracker, I believe you can see the gear that's available. If I click on co-op mission, here you go. Here's an example of one of the missions. Now, this is the level 2 mission. So as you can see, you can get either a handmade Prowler breeches, handmade belt, or a tailored coat, and that's because it's a low level mission. Now, it always gives you 2 lower level pieces of gear and the possibility of 1 higher level piece of gear based on whatever level the mission is. So if you come down to the hardest level missions, you can get 2 pieces of master equipment. These missions are 5 star, but then there's the possibility of getting 1 legendary piece of equipment. So if you're struggling for money, of course, you can always do these. I believe there's 3 co-op missions that are level 5. And each of them has the option of giving you a legendary piece of equipment. I believe they're all different: breeches, hood, and braces, coat, sorry, and breeches. Yeah, so straight away you can get 3 pieces of equipment, but it might require you to do the co-op mission 3 times because you get a different piece of equipment each time, and it's random until you have all 3. But money isn't too much of an issue in this game, so feel free to choose whatever you want. In my gear loadout, I've gone primarily for health and stealth, but also one of my pieces have got melee and range, and I'll take you through them now. This hood is the legendary Prowler hood. Now, as you can see, I've upgraded it. It says upgraded, and that's what the stats are once it's upgraded. You can see if you're going to buy a new piece, you can see here, it tells you the stats, the base stats. For instance, Eagle Vision range 40% extra, but then once it's upgraded, it's 60% extra. And I believe they're called sync points. If you look in the top left, you see I've got 44,615, and I believe that's sync points. There's a lot of different currencies and points in this game, but that's what you use to upgrade your gear, and you get plenty of it as long as you play in a way that earns you sync points by getting things like headshots and finishing moves and stuff like that. Even just using those lifts that carry you to the top of buildings and picking locks and things like that, that all gives you sync points. So here, the legendary Prowler hood got health and stealth. I picked it because it's got the, the highest stat increase. Now, if you look at these other pieces, if the bar is red, it means it's less than what you've currently got equipped. So if I was to buy this piece, it will give me less stealth. The white bar on health means it's exactly the same. Gives me exactly the same amount of health boost. And then some of them have gold stars, and that's the ones that have higher. So of course the one I've got equipped is only sort of around half a bar of health, stealth. Whereas this one is almost full, so that's why the bar is gold. But this one, yes, is a good all-round hood, I find. The chest piece, I've got the legendary military coat. Again, health and stealth, it's got the best increase for those two. But also in the modifiers at the bottom there, the two useful ones are the melee armor and the ranged armor. So basically you've got more protection against every kind of attack. Forearms is the one piece of equipment I use to increase my melee and ranged skills, and that's obviously very useful for just increasing your attack power, but also it still gives you a bit of health and stealth, so stat wise it's very good. This is the legendary Brigand braces, and on top of that, this is one of my favorite bits of equipment because it also gives you additional phantom blades, additional berserk blades, which are both very useful, more health and additional damage, so that affects every kind of attack as well. So this is one of the best pieces of gear I thoroughly recommend. On the waist, again, health and stealth, a little bit of range there. The legendary phantom belt, again, this has got some very useful modifiers: extra medicine, extra lockpicks, extra ammo, and smoke bombs. All those things are very useful, especially when you're running around getting the collectibles at the end of the game. You don't want to have to keep running to the shop to fill up your lockpicks, for instance, and when you just want to wade into battle and you're not worried about being stealthy, you just kind of want to get a mission done quickly. It's very useful having those smoke bombs and medicine to refill your health if you need to, and also the ammo, because the gun I'm going to show you is very useful. That was the legendary phantom belt, sorry. And then the legs, the final piece, again, health and stealth, and this is good for if you do want to be stealthy. It gives you extra or less falling noise, less running noise. So I find this gives you a good all-round character. It doesn't leave you weak in any area. Weapon-wise, I always go for one-handed weapons. I don't really use any of the others. Now, I bought the Cinquedeus when I could afford it, obviously, because this weapon here is the Sword of Eden, which is the weapon you get at the end of the game. You get it for free, but you don't want to wait until the final mission to get a decent sword, because of course you'll be underpowered throughout the game. So when I could afford it, I bought the Cinquedeus, which has got exactly the same stats, and of course I upgraded it as I have done with everything else. There's a even better sword here, which is one you get from the DLC, which I'll be doing soon. You get this for doing one of the side missions as like a puzzle thing, a bit like the enigmas in the main game. You complete the puzzles called Sugar's Legacy, and you get the Eagle of Sugar, which has got exactly the same stats, but it also has the ability to shine out a blinding light. which stuns the enemies, and it happens if you upgrade it. There you can see it does it 30% of the time. Pardon me. And the range is 15. I'm not sure what the 15 is, 15 meters or whatever, but it basically blinds and stuns the enemies around you quite often, and that's very useful. But on your way towards, while you're working on the main story, I recommend the Syncrideus, and then you'll get this Sword of Eden at the end for free, and you can use either one really while going through the DLC to try and get the Eagle of Sugar. I don't use long weapons or heavy weapons, but I do use a pistol. Now, the gold-plated pistol, as you can see, the damage, speed and range are all full, and of course parry, you don't parry with pistols anyway. You can with rifles because they work as melee weapons as well. But this is this is a almost overpowered pistol, because the main thing about it is that speed. Now what that means is that you can fire, I believe, 8 shots without reloading. Every other weapon takes a second or two to reload between shots, but this is very useful when you're in a big crowd of enemies. You can just tap the L1 button, and before you know it, everyone around you is down. Most enemies go down in one shot. I think the level 5, the bigger enemies that are level 5 maybe take 2 shots, but almost everyone in the game is 1 shot, and this just clears out an area like you wouldn't believe. So thoroughly recommend the gold-plated pistol and get that upgraded for that extra 25% damage. So there you have it. Now that's all the gear that I've got equipped. Of course, if you do get some of the free gear from the co-op missions and you want to choose different pieces of gear in the other slots because of the stats on those free pieces of gear, you may want to choose different things to kind of complement each other, then of course that's open to everyone's play style. But that's what I've got. Now money wise, of course, it does cost a lot. Most of the things that I bought were between 120 and 160,000 livres. Now the easiest way to get money is simply by leveling up your cafe, your sort of mansion home. Now what you want to do is come to where you collect your income here, come to the book on the desk, and of course you want to, as early as possible, you want to renovate all 5 of these parts of the cafe theatre. Now the most expensive one is 15,000, so it's not a huge amount. You'll get the money fairly quickly, get them leveled up, and then once they're leveled up, you unlock 5 cafe missions, get them done, and as you can see here, you've got the report. I've done all the renovations, I've done the cafe missions, and the other thing you want to do is renovate the social clubs. And once you've done them, you can do missions. There's 3 missions at each social club. I'm not entirely sure if those missions affect your overall income, but as you can see, I've renovated everything. I've done all the cafe missions, and I've nearly got all the mementos. I'm still working on the collectibles, so I'm sure they'll come naturally. You can just pretty much ignore them because they will come as you play through the game. But that gives me 10,798 livres income every 20 minutes. So the earlier on you do this, as early as possible in the game, get as much of this done as possible, and remember to pick up your income when it tells you that your chest is full, so that you don't lose any. And of course, if you've got a higher income from early on in the game, you'll be spending maybe a few dozen hours on the game. So while you're playing it, of course, you'll be earning more money, and you won't have to kind of leave the game on to get the money that you need. You'll just be having that income pouring in while you're going through the story missions and whatever else you're playing in the game. So it allows you to have 43,000, which is 4 lots of income, and you get it every 20 minutes. So every hour and 20 minutes it will give you a notification on the screen to say that you need to collect your money, because you won't get any more. It's filled up. And that's how I went about getting all the high level gear quite early on in the game, really. I was about halfway through the story and I managed to buy all legendary gear, and it makes the whole game a lot easier. So there you have it, guys. I've been Stay-Patient. I hope you found this helpful. Please remember to drop a like and a subscribe, and keep your eyes open for more gaming videos. For now though, I'll catch you soon, and enjoy the game. Thanks for watching.